Hey, how's it going everyone? Lotfi here. And in today's video, I'm going to show you an ad account that we've gotten to 150K a month. I'm going to show you the ads, the audiences we used, the images we used, and even the structure that we used to scale to, $150,000 a month within just 4 months of running the ad account. So it started out at zero, and then we scaled to 150K in 4 months. So he was doing about 20K a month organically, but this wasn't with ads. So from ads, it was from scratch basically. So but yeah, let me get into it now, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. So this is the ad account, and if you take a look, you can see so far we spent 188. Now we have multiple ad accounts, by the way. This is the one we spent the most, and you can see it's been disabled now. But we have multiple ad accounts, so we always have ads running. There's never really a time where ads are not running. So this is part of something I teach in my program for my clients, where we set up a specific structure that so that if something like that was to happen, you wouldn't get affected. But anyway, you can see here, for example, we spent $188,000 and generated 1,200 survey applications and 24,000 value video opt-ins. So this account made more than 3x ROI, and every dollar spent, I think it's 3.1. So made back more than 600K in the 4 month time frame. And this is not not including after from the other ad accounts as well, right? But essentially, let me show. So obviously the most important thing is generating leads in the beginning. So everyone's going to have different problems when they start out. So for example, I'm going to go into this ad account right here, show you what it looks like. So for example, here we're spending $300 a day. But however, in the beginning, you don't really do that, because when you start out, before you generate thousands and thousands of leads, you need to have a system where you can actually, have an ad that's actually proven to work. So your first focus is having an ad that's proven to work. And then once you have that, you can scale to different audiences, do different stuff. So this strategy you see here wouldn't work for someone starting out. This would not work. This is more for when you're scaling up. But once you're scaling up, then this is perfect. And that's when you can consistently, you can see it's very consistent, 156. And across all these campaigns, it stays at 156. So that's the most powerful thing when you set it up the way I do it, which is very powerful. And I'm going to show you a couple of ads that have actually allowed this. So for example, a couple of audiences that we go after, when we start doing lookalikes is running big lookalikes of people who've engaged with us, people who've been through the website. But a huge part of it is actually having a good ad. So I'm going to show you one of our best ads actually. So by the way, I'm only keeping this video up for like 24 hours and I'm going to delete it. But if you're seeing this now, so I'm going to show you some of the best ads. Where are they? So this one right here actually. So basically you can see here, this is called a timeline ad. So you can see it says launch a product, and these are proven to generate leads. And this is the landing page right here. So you can see the landing page is very well connected with the messaging in the ad. So for example, someone comes in, they know it's Amazon based. We're targeting people related to Amazon. When they come here, we mention the same thing, build your Amazon business. And we mention the same thing here. And then the video mentions the same thing, and then the program related to Amazon, right? And then, so this timeline ad angle, right? What we do is we actually just map out the customer journey. So let's say you were going to run an ad angle. What you could do is map out the journey that you have with your clients. So whether it is dentists. Now, by the way, this works if you're going to do service for service providers. If you're selling a course, so in this case, we're selling a course at $3,000. So in your case, if you're selling a course at $3,000, if you're selling coaching, if you're an agency owner, this works. It just has to be positioned a little bit differently for everyone. So let's say you're an agency owner, you're working with people who sell e-commerce products, right? You could start out by you can actually just ask some people how to start, or even look at your own experience. If you were in their situation, that's perfect, because you know what most of them have been through, because this resonates so well, right? So you could say, okay, first you did this, and then you did this, and then you did that, and then you did that, and then they resonate with every word you're saying. And that's why this is one of the best ad angles. And the best part is, once you resonate with it, because you've been through the situation, you can just quickly just flip it and tell them, look, I've been through all this, right? So here's the other option, which is, so you kind of have two polar opposites, and you can say the other option is, all right, come watch this, this workshop that I've recorded for you, and you don't have to keep going through this, and they can resonate with you. And the truth is, with these ads, if they feel you understand them, they'll opt in and buy from you, or opt in and book a call at the very least, right? Because with a lot of ads, they're very vague. They don't really speak to the target audience. So if you can really just speak to them properly, and actually know what's going on in their head and everything, then they just resonate with you, and they'll go through the whole funnel. That's why this one works very well. And like you can see the image right here. You ideally want to use some images of yourself. You can use other ones, but I would stick to, especially if you're an entrepreneur and you're the face of the business, you want to try and use images of yourself, because they just work extremely well. So this is one ad, inside look at $1 trillion industry, ignore your own peril. So yeah, this is the first, and then you can see landing page right here. It stayed the same. We've made a lot of tweaks to it, but let me show you another ad right here. This is one of the better performing ones too. So this one starts off with, tell me if this sounds familiar, and then you tell them, okay, does this resonate with you? So you can see these are very like a resonating type of ads. They're not really feature based. They're not promising a particular result. They just resonate with the audience. They're very simple. It's like something you would write as a person, right? If you were writing a Facebook page or your profile, you're ideally gonna say something that resonates with them. It's like writing for a friend. You can say, look, it's not another webinar. You can do this, you can do that, but it doesn't really promise features too much, because for example, depending on the space you're in, ideally, even if you are going to promise features, let's say you're on 2 ad angles, I would have one, for example, where you're promising features, and another one where you're not. So you have like 2 polar opposites, but essentially resonating with them is very, very powerful. When you're running your ads, you can see Amazon versus the world. Which side are you on? Right, so that's very powerful. And then when you go to the landing page, they kind of opt in, and then they buy a $3,000 program on the phone once they've booked an application, which is really good. But yeah, so if you're someone that's starting out, the strategy is very different. So if you're starting out, you have to establish your proof of concept first with the ads. So it's very easy to mess up the ad stuff. That's why a lot of people join my program, because they thought it was easy, but then they realized it's not. Or even if it does work for a while, if you don't have it set up correctly with sales tracking and everything, you're actually tracking the sales with the ads, which we have set up as well, by the way. If you don't have all that, then it's very hard to scale. So that's why a lot of people struggle to scale. They might get a couple of sales for a little while, but it's not very consistent. So they won't get this kind of consistency for a long period of time, where even if this account was gone, they can just restart the next day without any issues. So for example, when you're starting out, you wanna you wanna have a campaign that can get you leads and service to begin with, right? So that's your first goal. And once you can get that, and you can get to 10,000 a month, that's when you go to the next step. And that's when you got to look at, okay, how stable is it? How well is it performing? And if it is performing well, then you got to take the step to scale. To 20, 50, 100K a month. But if it's not, then you gotta keep going back to that foundation. So one big part is building that foundation, so that even when you get you can keep producing like hundreds of service or sales every month consistently, because that's like the most powerful thing. But you can see here, once we're spending about 1,000 to 2,000 a day around here, we start to have multiple campaigns to start spreading it out. So we have warm retargeting. So let me show you some retargeting that we do. You can see the retargeting, we split it up, the audience by the ad angle, and we got a lot of surveys right here. So let me go to this one. So this is a very powerful retargeting ad, by the way, a testimonial based one, and it's very interesting too. I'm actually going to show you. So you can see here, an 89-year-old client that built an Amazon business. So it's very, very impressive, right? And it stands out. So testimonials work well for retargeting, and you want to definitely test a lot of those. And you want to have that sequence set up so that people come in through the cold, they come back through in the retargeting, and it just makes sense, right? So each step of the process, you hang up different objections, so that way And it always goes back to the case study as well. Let me see. Yeah, so it goes back to the case study again. Let me see. So yeah, so we put in multiple ones. So even the ones you've had before, you can put them in there and like provide value and stuff. But the truth is, none of this is going to work if you don't have your proof of concept right. So once you have your proof of concept right, you can spend money almost anywhere and it'll be profitable. But if you don't have it right, then it just doesn't work anywhere, you know. That's why a lot of people will struggle with the rad campaigns because they don't have that foundation set up. But yeah, hopefully I covered quite a bit in this video, showing you the audiences, so you can see once you scales a lot of lookalikes. However, in the beginning you don't do that. In the beginning you do more interest and other types of audiences. That works. So it depends on your situation. So some people have interest, some do not. It just depends where you're at. So there's like a different strategy depending on your particular situation. If you're running an agency or if you're selling courses, and depending on your niche, like what kind of niche are you in? Are you in B2B? Are you in B2C? And also a question of like, how well have you done organically? Do you have a proof of concept there? So all these things tie into what your ad strategy should be. So everyone's ad strategy is customized. That's why people that I work with, they get results in the first month, first 3-4 weeks, is because I customize it for them specifically. And if you don't have the custom strategy, it just doesn't work. Because if you're going to follow something that everyone else is following, you're pretty much, it could work for you, but for the most part, it just doesn't, because your business is unique. So if you work with dentists only, then your strategy is way different to someone who selling an Amazon course to, anyone, right? Is night and day. Or if you're selling to e-commerce store owners, or you're selling to people like who are going to work with your agency, it's different, and the messaging is slightly different too than to someone who's selling like a course. So everyone has a unique business and they have to have a custom strategy. But yeah, so if you're interested in learning that custom strategy that I built for him, and I've kind of mapped it out now. So I've mapped out specifically step by step how to do this yourself very easily. So a lot of people in my new program, they're getting results. They just follow my step-by-step process to customize it. And it works for them straight away. So this is something I've kind of refined and I put into a system that you can use straight away. So if you're interested in that, then just send me a message on Facebook. Just tell me you want to learn more, and I'll just get on a phone call with you and we can have a chat about it, and we can see how if this is a good fit for you. So if you're in a good position to use my custom strategy and to use my ad strategy, if you're in a good position to basically start running ads to begin with and stuff like that. So just send me a message. I'll see where you're at. Just tell me about your business. And then we can get on a phone call. I'll look at a bit more what you have. If you've already been running ads, if you've not been running ads, if you've been doing organic but you want to run ads, etc. So I'll actually just look at what you have going to see what the next best step is. And then maybe if you have been running ads, we can look at, okay, what's the best step forward, right? So, or maybe you're working with an agency and you're not seeing results, or maybe you are, or maybe you're wondering if you can get more. In any case, send me a message, or there should be a link to kind of book a phone call with me, where you'll be talking with me directly, by the way. It's not a sales pitch or anything. It's just me talking to you, see where you're at and everything. So by the way, about me, I run agencies. I have clients that I do this for, and also have a program where people join and they just do it themselves. So yeah, if you're interested, just shoot me a message, or I might put a link down to book a phone call. I may do that. But in any case, definitely shoot me a message, because you're from Facebook anyway. So, and if you want to run ads, if you're already running ads and you want to do a lot better, get a ton more clients, then shoot me a message and I can see if you're leaving a lot of money on the table or not. But yeah, thank you for watching, and see you soon.